Hey everybody, Prepper Nurse One here. Today we are going to talk about hiding gardens in plain sight. So how do you hide a garden in plain sight? I mean, your traditional garden obviously is in a specific area that you have, and you have it lined out or protected and all that type of stuff. But how can you hide a garden in plain sight? So we're going to talk about that in a minute. Today is Thursday, May 16th, 2019. I'm going to kick this around here real quick so you can see we are overcast right now. We did have some sunshine today. It was actually not too shabby. It was in the 60s today. So weather-wise, not too bad at all. So, gardens in plain sight. Let's talk about that real quick. So let's talk about what do we got right here to start with, guys. All kinds of dandelions, right? There's a garden in plain sight, something that you can forage in nature that you can use. You can eat it, you can use it as a tea, you can make wine out of it. There's a lot of uses for dandelions. Everything from the roots to the stem to the very top of the flower, all of that can be used. Okay? Again, gardens in plain sight. What are we talking about? What else? We can talk about the fruit trees. Okay? So fruit trees can be gardens in plain sight as well. If you have trees, like these are obviously right here on my driveway, but if you have trees spaced out in your property, those can also be something that can be pretty much right in plain sight where people aren't really going to pay a whole lot of attention to. Now, what do we got here? We got the grape plants, okay? So again, here's something else that can be used as a garden in plain sight. They're going to produce for you. You're going to get your grapes, and it's a really good way of doing it. And these, they spread out every year and they do their thing. Again, it's something that you can put in different spots, and they're going to produce. Now we have, let me see if I can, because we had grapevines going right up the telephone pole here, and but they have they came in when they cleared everything out and they cut all those down. All right, but let's talk about this up here. All right, we'll talk about the different plants, okay? You can look at these different plants, and what most people are going to see is just a weed, but this could be something that is very, very useful. So you're going to look at that, you're going to do your research, you're going to find out what that plant is, what use that's going to have, either medicinal or being able to eat it. Okay, now along with that, what do we got back here? Okay, we got raspberry bushes. So we got all these raspberry bushes all in through here. All right, again, that's another garden in plain sight, guys. Those are things that are going to be available to you in nature. And again, I cut these back, honestly. They were all the way out to here, but I cut them back a little bit because I wanted a little bit more room in this part of the, around the driveway and stuff. But I've also left a bunch of the raspberries are gonna grow absolutely like crazy. They're gonna absolutely grow very, very fast. So again, these are different things that you can look at. You can look at the different plants in here, okay, and you can say, okay, what is something that I can use? What is something that I can't use? Now, obviously, you can see here by the blossoms, I hope you can tell by the blossoms, that this here is an apple tree. Obviously, that is something that people are going to be able to see and know what that is, especially when it's producing fruit. But again, it's something that you can just have there that's going to produce for you, that's going to give you, something, again, in plain sight that, people a lot of times are not going to even pay attention to. So traditional gardens are going to be something that is going to be a target in an SHTF situation, okay? But once you get out into the woods, if it's the right time of season, you can have a tremendous meal with just raspberries alone. Black raspberries, red raspberries, depending on what you have in your area. And like I said, here we have a tremendous amount of raspberries in this area where I live, which is great. I love it because we can go out into the woods, behind the property and just go nuts picking raspberries when they're in season. But again, knowing what these other plants are, that are going to be out here, okay? Looking at it, saying, okay, what can I use this for? Is this something that's going to be beneficial to me? So knowing, again, what your medicinal plants are, your wild edibles are, and again, you can see on this here all the blossoms from the apple tree. Now, with this, what we had done, and I'm going to show you over here, that is a root of a wild grape vine, okay? So here is one of the roots. Over here is another root. Now I cut them off, okay, because what they had done is they had climbed up the tree, and you can see, now this is dead now, obviously, because I cut this, I think 2 years ago, but they were so entrenched in the trees, I couldn't get them all out, but they're not growing anymore, obviously, okay? But they were taking over the apple trees here that we have, but you know, that is something that you want to think about. Knowing your wild edibles, guys, like walking into this patch here, okay, you can look around. Again, you can see the raspberry bushes, lots of raspberry bushes that are growing up. But then there's other things here too. Now you got to go, okay, what is this plant? Is this something that's edible? Is any part of this plant edible? What about this one? You know what I mean? So looking at these different plants, getting a feel for it, getting your information, and you can look for wild edibles in your area of the country. Wherever part of the country or part of the world that you're in, they're going to give you a list of those things that are going to be edible, things that are going to be something that you can use, okay? Like this plant here, okay? What is this going to be used for? So you look at it, you do your research, you find out, okay, this plant can be used for X, Y, or Z. And again, that's the best way to find that information. Practical practice, put it into practice, know what these different things are. Because again, these are things, guys, that can absolutely save your life in an emergency situation. Talking about bugging out, okay? Let's say you got to bug out and you got to go on foot, all right? And so now you're humping through the woods, trying to figure out what am I going to do, where am I going to go, what's happening. So here we go. We got one of the bees right there, guys. You see that? He's hitting the dandelions. The dandelions are the first fruit of the year, first flowers of the year for the bees to get into to pollinate and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. But they will definitely do the job. So you're going through the woods, and as you're traveling through those woods, you can look for different things, okay? What is something that's going to be good? What is something that I can use to eat? And again, like here's this plant here. Let's look at this one right here, okay? Now again, you can look that up. You can find out, is that something that's going to be useful to me or not useful? You also can find out what's poisonous and what is not. Obviously, you don't want to be eating anything that's poisonous because that's going to obviously have a very adverse effect on you. So, again, like now cattails would be another thing. Now, I don't see any cattails in here at the moment, but cattails would be another thing. There's a lot of really, really good uses for cattails that you can use, okay? So those are things that I want you guys to think about. It's important, guys, to know what you're looking for. So the best way to do that, like I said, get those glossiers that they have. Find out in your area of the country what wild edibles are there, and then go out, identify them, know what you're looking for, and then you go, oh, okay, I know what that is. That is this, and I can use it for this. And then you start processing that on a regular basis, and before you know it, you're going to walk out in nature and go, all right, that plant can be used for this. This is what that plant is, and it can be used for this. And then you just have that there. And again, so you decide, okay, well, you know what, today I'm going to go out into nature. I'm going to take a walk around, and I'm going to walk into the woods, and I'm going to see what I can have. I'm going to have my lunch in the woods, and you can do that. And that's something that's very, very practical, and it can be absolutely used, and it would be very good for you to do. It's like I said, again, practical practice. I've talked about it before. Knowing what you can use, what you cannot use. Like the bark of You know, willow trees can be used as an aspirin, okay? A lot of people don't know that. But, you know, again, those are different things that can be, you know, that are really, really good to know. Again, know that information. You're going to, first of all, the best thing about that, guys, the more information that you have, it makes you more valuable. Okay, what you're going to be looking for, what groups are going to be looking for after SHTF are going to be people with value. What are you bringing to the table? What value are you bringing to this group? What benefit? Okay, so if I go to a group and I say, well, listen, I can go out there and I can get all kinds of wild edibles, I can get all kinds of medicinal plants that's going to help people, and obviously me being a nurse and also being ex-military, that brings a lot to the table. So having different skill sets is going to be really, really important. Okay, so I want you to think about those things and again, practice those. Get that information for your area of the country. Obviously, what I have here in the Northeast, in New York, is going to be different than is going to be in Arizona. It's going to be a whole different ballgame. But the thing is, in Arizona, if you can go out there and you can identify those plants that are in your area and know what they are and know how helpful they're going to be, it's huge, guys. It's really, really huge. So I'm not telling you different things just to blow smoke up your butt. I'm trying to, you know, make you think about things. If I can make you think, and if I can get you into a practice, it's going to be something that's going to be helpful for you. That is absolutely awesome. And that's what I'm trying to do. Okay, so we will definitely, I'm gonna do a video where I'm actually gonna go out into the woods. We're gonna identify some plants. I'm going to tell you what they are, what they're going to be used for, and we're going to go from there, okay? So we will definitely be doing that as things grow up more. We're going to do a video on that just because I want to show you guys there's so much in nature that's available that it's absolutely crazy, okay? So anyway, I walked again today. Today was actually the 4th day this week that I've walked. I've walked every day. Today I did 3.9 miles. So I'm really, really pleased with the progress that's coming along that way. Like I've told you guys before, I want to get up to 5 miles, and once I hit 5 miles, then I'm going to start adding weight and carrying weight with me in my walks. So I will definitely, probably by the end of next week, I'll be over 5 miles. So that's, you know, like tomorrow, where I'm walking to tomorrow, I've already got it in my head where I'm going to. It's going to be all together, it's going to be 4.2 miles tomorrow when I finish that walk tomorrow. So, you know, having a game plan, work on things, okay? Get yourself in shape, get ready, get out there, study, research. You know, there's so much time, there's only so much time to get things done. But if you take that time and do things and educate yourself, you make yourself more valuable. And that's really what it's all about, okay? So I'm going to kick this around here so you can see. There's Abel walking right through here, little guy. Kittens are doing great. They're growing up really, really well. They're great, great cats. So anyway, guys, I'm going to jump off of here for now. Well, we've had a really good solar day, too, just here at the homestead. Over 4 kilowatt hours today. So really, really good day that way as well. So just want to tell you guys, remember, we are all in this together. That's important to remember. A lot of people don't think about that, but we really, truly are. The more we can help each other out, the better off we're going to be. Remember also, guys, hug and kiss the ones you love. Tell them every single day. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen. And so that's important to remember as well. Also remember, STD, guys, it's one step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever you're trying to do, whatever you're trying to accomplish, you can do it. The only one that's going to ever stop you from getting there is yourself, okay? Realistically, there's no one that can stop you other than you. So again, just focus on things, work methodically, you will get to where you want to be, okay? I will talk to you guys all tomorrow. Prepper Nurse 1, out for now.